I've been shooting with the most expensive photography lights, so you don't have to. I want to tell you what I've learned by shooting on the mighty Broncolor lights. What it is to shoot on these compared to cheap lights, and what I've learned by using these, because it's been an interesting experience. Now, I started off with this sort of light here. This is Bowen's, and actually, this is far better than the Bowen's I had. I had the 500 non-pro versions. This is the 3000 watt Creo. I could never afford this when I was starting out. But this is the budget version of this, and this was miles away from my price points. So I've shot with cheap lights, I've shot with budget lights. These are great, by the way, still use them today. They put light out. And these are really good. And I use these on every job we do, unless the rental house only has Profoto, then we use Profoto. There's another brand called Briesse, amazing quality lights, not as accessible, I suppose is the best way to put it. But yes, very good. Anyway, as far as I'm concerned, Broncolor is the light for photographers. It's a head and pack system, so you plug the head into a pack, the pack has all the gubbins in it, the capacitors, fires 3,200 watts of beautifully consistent and accurate light. And here's what I've learned. When you buy expensive kit, you expect there to be a massive change in the quality of your work. And when I went from Bowen's to this, yeah, there was actually. I'm not gonna pretend it wasn't a big change. It was huge. And it's a mixture of the modifier and the head itself, but the difference was substantial. I could really see the difference. It was better than any camera upgrade I've ever made. And a lot of it comes down to the modifiers as well. And I have tried to adapt these to fit on Bowen's, but I've not done it successfully, just so I can show you the difference. But these reflectors, there's a reason these cost hundreds of pounds, and a Bowen's or Godox one costs 20. And just for going further in this video, because I'm old, I say Bowen's, I also mean Godox, it's the same brand nowadays. But yeah, so this, beautiful. It's amazing light. It does things that the Bowen's stuff and Godox stuff doesn't. You can choose your T-scores all nicely. You can choose your color accuracy. You can ping pong. You can do all these great things. The modifier selection is insane. The rental house support is brilliant, and they're repairable. They're also built like tanks. Like, these are good quality plastic and metal. They're just brilliantly built. Now I've got some Broncolor stuff from back in 1980s, still works fine. Still shoot it regularly. If we need to get packs into odd places and we don't need this flash duration, we use the old ones from the 80s. They still put out perfect colors. They're beautifully built, lovely design, robust, very good. There are some drawbacks though. Every time we have a new assistant in the studio and I watch them trying to put a modifier on, I get a little bit, like, when you're doing this, you're taking one of these metal things off past the glass tube, you're trying to find it, there you go, you're banging it on the glass. This glass alone is hundreds of pounds, that's just a protective dome. You smash the flash tube and I'm really gonna be not a pleased bunny. That's worrying. When I see them booming it in a weird sort of, not how I'd like it done way, that's worrying. When it's packed down at the end of the day and you've got professional assistants who are used to dealing with rental kit and they've got your very expensive, every penny you have of lighting in their hands, launching it across the studio, that's worrying. So there's that as a drawback. The next drawback is, of course, the cost. These, I mean, I bought these secondhand and they were bloody expensive, like really expensive bits of kit. Yes, I got a good deal on them. There's no way I'd have got them as much as, well, I was going to buy them anyway, actually, but I wouldn't have bought as many of them. I think I've got 10 heads and 5 packs. And because of that, it means that we can pretty much do anything, and we can also take this kit with us on set and take the rental fee, which in no way is ever going to pay for itself. That is not going to happen. But it's a little bit of money, which, you know, is always appreciated. So there is that. Now, the fear of breakages, we've had a few breakages, we've dropped a few of these. They've always been repairable by myself. I've always managed to fix them myself, buying the parts, but the parts are expensive. They're so expensive. So we needed to buy 2 more of these reflectors because we didn't have enough. That was like 400 quid. A set of grids is like £300–400. I bought a hard lighter for 2 grand, which is just a flash tube in a black box. Like, it's so expensive for what it is. If you need to buy lots and lots of lights, this is difficult to do. but it is better. It does make a considerably better quality of light. However, and this is where I've come unstuck. I looked at this and went, the light on that is so much better. I had my agent going through my book recently, and she pulled out some of her favorite images saying how great the lighting is in these images. None of them were lit with Broncolor. None of them. They were all lit with Bowen's 500 watt heads. During the period of lockdown where I quickly smuggled home some lights and lenses and shot a whole portfolio on the kitchen floor. They weren't even shot on medium format. They weren't shot on technical cameras. I had one lens, one light, and a reflector. That was it. So yes, these do technically better light. They do in every way possible, these are better. But nothing trumps a better photograph. And quality of light, there is a better quality of light, but if it's not used right, it doesn't matter. The lighting in the shots that she really liked, I lit them in a particular way with a particular aesthetic that suited the particular scene, which had a particular narrative. The whole thing builds itself up. If I'd have done it with this light, it'd have been slightly better. But these were still brilliant images. Now, I'd go as far as saying that I am a better photographer today than I was back then. Well, there's no denying. I'm a better photographer now than I was back then. But still, some of my best work was shot back then. Maybe creatively I was better, maybe I had more creative freedom, maybe I didn't care so much about what people thought about what I did, whatever it may be. And those older lights didn't hold me back. There are rare examples when we shoot stuff like this cropping up on the screen now, where it's composite, where it's multi-shots, where it's freezing action, where this is the answer, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without the Bowen stuff, but it's not like I was short of work back then. It's not like I was losing jobs back then because of that. So what I've learned with expensive lighting is it's better, but still nothing beats being good at photography. Taking a good photograph will always trump better equipment. The work I have in my portfolio that wins me the jobs is often shot on the 5D Mark II and Bowen's 500 watt lights. I'm now shooting medium format on a technical camera with 6/7 lenses and Broncolor lighting. It's not getting me any more work. It's better, it's nicer, it's lovely to use. I must say the usability of these with the apps on the iPad and everything like that is absolutely, it's lovely, it's great. It saves a bit of time in post sometimes, but it doesn't make your photographs any better than they would have been.